They eating me up already. I'm like, sheesh. Hey y'all, hey everybody. What's up, Soul Tribe? Hey everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. What's up? Where you guys at? Hey everyone. I'm trying to give people some time to come in, okay? Of course, I'm coming through with a message for you guys, okay? All right. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes. I ain't got no music. I don't feel like it. All right. Okay. Sister been working all day. So let's see. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, y'all. Come on in. Thank you, Goddess. Let me see. Is it Odessa? I think I can't see. You know Auntie can't see, child. I can't see that name. I think that's what it is. Okay. I love you. You know who I'm talking to. All right. Hey y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in. I got a message, okay? I have a message for you guys, so you don't want to miss this message. If you're here, you are here for a reason, okay? You are here for a reason, so make sure you stay around, okay? I have a message for you guys, but I don't want to start yet. I want to give people an opportunity to come in. So take a seat, grab your popcorn, get your drink, whatever you got to do, but don't leave. Hey y'all, what's up, y'all? Hey, how you guys doing? Hey everyone, what's up, Soul Tribe? Soul Tribe, yeah, we down to ride. Soul Tribe, yeah, we down for life. And this is for the Soul Tribe. Hey, who's that? Y'all know, hey, Divine Goddess. Hey, mamas. What's up, mamas? How you doing? Hey y'all, what's up? Hey everyone. Hey Samantha. So glad you're here. Okay, I got a message for everyone. So don't leave because this is a very important message. Now, if you're here, it's for a reason, okay? So make sure you take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, to follow the page, right? All right. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. I just heard the name Brittany. What's up, guys? What's up, Jay? What's up, Samantha? Hey, girl. What's up, y'all? What's up, everyone? Hey. Where you guys at this evening? Okay. Oh, shoot. Child, I had a long day and I was like, should I get online? And Spirit was like, you better get on there and talk to your people. So I feel like there's a very important message for all of us here this evening, right? So if you're here, it's definitely for a reason. Hey, Samantha, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Love you. Hey, what's up, Mr. Clean? Clean. I don't know. I just thought about the magic eraser. Mr. Clean, the magic eraser, okay? I don't know. Do you be coming through and like, cleaning up people's lives or something like that? That's the kind of energy I'm picking up, okay? What's up, y'all? Shout out to y'all. Thank you guys for all the love, okay? Hey, Divine Goddess. Okay, so of course I'm coming through with a message for you guys, right? So I guess I can get into it. Let's see. I had wrote something down for you guys and I forgot to bring it out here. So I was like, I'm just going to wait until the morning, okay? And give you guys that message in the morning. So if you're not already, you may want to seriously follow the page because we get on here every day and deliver messages for you guys, for the collective, for people just like us, for people on their spiritual journey, for people that are trying to better themselves, for people that want more out of life, for people who are, stepping into the unknown, like those kind of people. That's who we're here for. So if you are into that, we are here every day for you guys, okay? These mosquitoes are tearing your girl up. You guys know I got that royal blood and they be trying to bite me and stuff and, distract me, little monitoring spirits. But nevertheless, we're going to push forward here, okay? So let's get out a message. Man, I need some water. Okay, I see the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. So there's something about, and it looks like it's in the reverse. So there's something about some kind of misinformation here. There could be someone, and I don't know, someone could literally be blocked here. Okay, you could have someone blocked because of, you know, the energy that they put out. You know, there could be a person that, you know, they're negative, and it's like, you know, I feel like you are moving forward in life, and, you know, anything that's negative, you really don't have time for it. So you could literally like be blocking out energy. Okay, thanks, babe. You could literally like be blocking out energy, redirecting energy. Okay, there could be someone here and they could have like some kind of clouded judgment. Okay, maybe someone could have like misjudged you. Someone could have thought you were something that you weren't. You know, someone could have thought you were like a weakling. They could have thought that you were someone to be played with, and they didn't understand who you really were. Maybe someone didn't understand who you really truly roll with, right? Something about that. Okay. So I don't know. We got the Ace of Swords here in the reverse. I feel like there's also someone here, and you could just have like literally a lack of ideas. Like, you know, you could be a very creative person, and maybe there's some kind of creative block here. You know, you could be feeling like, you know, I don't know, I just can't create right now. So I don't know. You could be needing to meditate or something like that. I do see the hamster here. Okay, and with the hamster, it does say, you know, hard work, storing energy, focus on personal needs and security. So I don't know, you could be feeling like you're blocked in some kind of way mentally. You know, I remember like a time when I was in unhealthy relationships with friends, family members, and lovers, and I just could not like, you know, I was blocked. I felt like I had a creative block, and I'm a very creative person. But I felt like when I was in the energy around people that really did not have my best interests around, you know, at heart, I was not able to create and manifest properly, right? And so you could be feeling like this too. You could be feeling like, you know, you have a lack of ideas. You could even be feeling like, you know, you're blocking out someone's communication, someone's blocking you from communication, whatever it is. I feel like this could even be someone literally, someone could be literally blocking you out because someone has given them some false information about you. And this could be very like nerve wracking, but spirit is saying if this is you in this energy, because that's someone here, you know, don't worry about it. You know, this is kind of like the energy of, you know, just keep working and allow God to do things in the background. And, you know, people will see who you are eventually. Like, you know, it's like one of those things where you can't really argue with a person about who you are, your character, you know, your integrity. You just have to do, show, and prove is what I'm hearing. Something about that? Okay. So I don't know. Hard work is really required here. Okay. I feel like spirit is also saying that you need to make sure that you're storing your energy, using your energy properly, right? You know, calling your energy back from places that it doesn't belong. Okay. Number one, there could be someone and you literally, please charge. There could be someone and you literally could need some rest here. Okay. Like, you know, you could be needing to just get some rest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So something about that. Let's see. Y'all, it's hot on this joint. Okay. And the mosquitoes are not friendly. So someone's crying over you here. Okay. I don't know. I feel like this could be someone who thought they, you know, they would be better off without you. This could be someone who thought that, you know, the grass was greener on the other side. But I feel like there's someone crying over you because life is hard without you. You know, a lot of people didn't realize how much easier you made life because, you know, you are a person, you know, that you're a person full of compassion. You are a person that empathizes with humanity. So, you know, you give just a different kind of love here. So I feel like there could be someone, I feel like there could be someone literally like crying over you. They could be sad, hurt, or upset, etc. You could have walked away from something, someone, a situation here. Okay. You know, this is one of those energies. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Confirmation. Thank you for doing that, right? Confirmation. This could be one of those energies that's like this is a very tricky energy. Okay. I feel like could be one of those energies that, you know, this energy is only sad when you're not around, but it's like when you're around, this energy shows no respect, no compassion, no love, like no, it's not an energy that really cares unless you're not around. It's controlling, if I be honest with you. This is like a controlling, manipulating kind of energy that I'm feeling here. Okay, someone literally could be crying over you to just do you how they did you the last time. That shit is crazy, right? I know. That's exactly how I felt. This shit is crazy. And I don't even cuss a lot, but I was like, that's what my spirit felt like. This shit is crazy. That's one of those ones where somebody try to play you so bad, you literally have to be like, what? Do I look that damn crazy? Do I look that stupid? Now, I might be a little slow, all right? I could be a little teeny bit, right? I might be. But to think I'm that damn slow, you got to be tripping. Right? It's like that kind of energy. Like, what? Yeah, something about that. Someone had you messed up, okay? Let's see here. Yeah, nurture yourself. I feel like because someone thought you were boo boo the fool. Someone thought you were real slow, like the tortoise, the turtle, something like that. Someone thought you were slow like a turtle, so they thought that they could just do whatever. Now they're literally crying over you. I don't know, because I feel like you were like a mothering energy, a fathering energy, a very nurturing energy. I feel like this person never really felt love until they met you, honestly. And it's crazy because I've met people like this. I know this energy it's a familiar spirit, right? Because we don't fight people, we fight against spirits, right? So it's spiritual, right? And I know this spirit, right? This is the spirit where it's like, a person will cry over you, right? But they really, they really want to do them. I'm just saying, like, this is that kind of energy. It's a person that, they're greedy. This is a person that they're needy, they're greedy. This is a person that wants, they want to jump on the train to whatever train is moving. They're ready to get on that train. It's not necessarily that you're a bad person, you're not a good lover. This person is an opportunist. There it is, an opportunist, right? And I feel like, because you're no longer giving your energy to someone and you're actually nurturing yourself, there could be someone like crying over you, I'm seeing someone sending you some crazy text messages. Okay, this person could be literally bipolar is what I'm hearing. They could be going in and out with the shit that they're sending to you. 1 minute it could be, oh, everything's all good, and the next minute it's like, oh, this is an energy of confusion. And remember, God does not confuse. Okay, something about that. We got to nurture yourself. You could be a woman that I'm talking to, or you could be a man and a woman is doing this to you. I don't know, something like that. Okay, I don't like it. Now we got the squirrel and it says always prepared. Okay, let's see. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. I love this. So Spirit is saying stay ready so you don't have to get ready, okay? Something about that. There could even be a person here, and, maybe you were dealing with someone that had more material than you, more finances, more resources, but you are more spiritual, right? So it was like, maybe they could be providing the finances, but you're providing the spiritual guidance. You're providing, the anointing in the relationship. You are the divine one, right? In whatever kind of relationship this was. And I feel like, Spirit is just saying, be ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay prepared. A house divided can't stand. And that's just period, And I know us divine beings, we love to try to fix situations. We love to try to help people and things like that. But at some point, you have to realize that, like, if a person does not want to help themselves, you can't help them, And there are some people literally that I have to tell you, they are just out for self. They literally only want whatever makes self happy, whatever puts self ahead of the game. And at some point, you have to be like, well, I choose me. And it's not that you're a selfish person, because you'll never be selfish like them. Is that if you don't put yourself first, they will put you under the ground somewhere. Like, evil has no mercy. Proverbs tells us that, right? I mean, even the occultic, laws and the laws of the universe and things like that tells us that evil has absolutely no mercy, right? So, I mean, that is what it is. So, let's see, y'all. Hopefully we get some different energy here, because I don't feel like being up in that. But nurture yourself, okay? Like, don't allow trickster spirits to keep tricking you, because that's what this is. A person that, like, wants to play around with your energy. This is a person that does not take life seriously. So why would they take you seriously? Like, I'm going to just be honest with you. Some people, they just don't take life seriously. They feel like they just have all the time in the world. They feel like, what they're doing is right. They feel like they don't have to change anything. And I'm not here to judge anyone, but this is the reality that I had to learn about certain people. Like, in order for me to be free, I had to learn that, look, this is how they are. And if you expect anything more than them, then you're going to let yourself down at some point, because they have already showed you who they are, right? And a person can only show you who they are, right? And if you it's up to you to believe it or not. It's up to you to try to make them something that they're not, whatever it is. But when a person shows you who they are, that's who they are, right? Okay, message. Let's see. What are you doing? All right, so we got the 9 of Wands here coming out in the reverse. So Spirit is saying, choose your battles wisely, okay? I told you, there's like, it's crazy, because when you're dealing with energies that you're releasing yourself from, it could be very hard to release yourself, because, these energies are very toxic and very clingy, okay? So Spirit is saying you could feel very overwhelmed right now, trying to release, this energy, trying to get back on track, trying to find another approach here. Okay, but there's something about something's out of control here. I feel like there's something, and it has just literally spiraled out of control. And I don't know, that there's a situation where, it's just not worth it anymore. There's something, and it's like, it's not worth it. Like, is my peace worth this, is what I'm hearing. You ever been in a situation where it literally drives you crazy? Like, you have no peace. That's the kind of situation that someone's gotten out of, or someone needs to get out of. And I believe that, because it says clear and shield your energy. Okay. Clear and shield your energy. It's crazy, because I know this energy oh so well, but I'm so glad that, God bless me and I don't have to feel this energy anymore. See, what I had to learn was, once you love yourself properly, then someone else will love you properly as well, right? See, nobody can just come in with me, right? You can't just come in and wine and dine me. You have to come in with something different. And, that's what it is for you. It's like, someone has to come in with something different this time, because I feel like you've cleared and you're shielding your energy. And, there's certain people, they just can't get back in. And I feel like they're angry. And I don't know, I feel like they're doing things in the background. And it's crazy, because this could have been a situation, like, you could have been out of this situation even 5 years ago, I'm here. But, like, someone is still trying to bother a person. There's a person claiming to be, like, unbothered, but they're doing things to, like, stop another person. Okay? And Spirit is saying, go now. Okay? Yeah, I feel like you've already went, though. I feel like you've already gotten away from this situation, but maybe the energy is coming up. Maybe you can feel what's going on in the background. Maybe someone's coming around with the rumors again. Maybe someone's coming in with the gossip again. Maybe someone's calling your phone. I'm saying someone's playing on someone's phone again. Okay, something like that. You could have thought like someone, was done with the foolishness and now they're back again. It's like the energy of when a person, you know, you leave them alone and then they go find someone for temporary relief. And then when that doesn't work, they start bothering you again. That's what I'm picking up. That could be exactly what it is. Okay. Now, there is a situation that Spirit is saying you need to see the other person's point of view here. Okay. I feel like this could be a friend or a family member. Okay. I don't know if a friend or a family member is trying to give you some kind of advice here. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's high vibrational, though, because, you know, I always say go with your own gut feeling. A lot of times we don't need to really rely on the opinion of other people. But Spirit is saying see the other person's point of view. So there could be someone around you that's giving you some good advice. There could be someone around you that has, you know, their perspective is different than yours, but maybe it's something that you need to view. Maybe there's something that you're not clearly seeing 100%. And sometimes, you know, it helps to have people that you love or care about when they can give you their point of view. And Spirit is saying you should definitely take this into consideration. Okay. Now, also, I see stay focused here. So there could be, I feel the distractions. There's a lot of distractions going on with the energy that's happening in the background because, you know, anytime something big is about to happen, there's always distractions that come up, right? So I feel like you could be working on something big in the background. Now, you could be blocked. Remember, I talked about that in the beginning. You could be feeling like a creative block, but there's still something that you've been working on or manifesting. Maybe it's just like, you know, you're halfway there and you haven't been able to complete the project, or maybe you started the project and you haven't finished, or maybe you came up with the idea and you haven't started. Whatever it is, I feel like, you know, Spirit is saying stay focused. Okay, you could be feeling blocked, but, you know, fight through that energy. You know, evil always wants us to kind of like stop doing what we're supposed to do, right? So, you know, you could be feeling the energy of procrastination, and Spirit is saying just push through. There's an energy that wants you to stop something, but you could feel God kind of pushing you to do it, okay? So it's a need to really fight through this energy, the procrastination, the laziness, the not wanting to get up when you hear God calling you, right? Like that kind of energy. Okay, so let's see. Now, I do see focus upon your strengths here. Okay, so I don't know if like you're beating yourself up right now. You could be like literally beating yourself up, and you should not. Okay, you know, I feel like you're so compassionate, so empathetic that, you know, because this person is doing whatever they're doing in the background, these people or whoever this is or whatever this is, you know, you could be feeling like a little bit sad. You know how, like, you know, I feel like you're a person that feels like you can fix everything. And because this is a situation you can't fix, I feel like you could be feeling a little bit sad that you literally have to pull yourself away from certain things and people. But Spirit is saying focus on your strengths. You know, all of this is a part of the divine plan, the greater plan, the scheme, the greater scheme, the mission, right? The purpose. So focus on your strength and not your weaknesses. Yeah, you may be weak in some spaces. Yeah, there may maybe some things that you're not 100% sure about. Some things you know you don't know. But Spirit is saying focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. Okay, something about that. Do the things that you're strong at, and pray on your weaknesses. You know, ask God to help you. Now we got Boss Daddy here. There's someone in the energy. You could be very stable, rich, a business owner, a CEO, and then we got big dick energy, or this could be someone you're meeting here. I don't know. You could be a person with some status here, or you could be meeting a person with some status. Okay, something about that. I feel like there's also a lot of you guys creating stability in your own lives, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a person coming in, but I feel like because you've made the choices to, you know, manage your finances better, because you made the choice to, you know, invest in things, you know, that you weren't investing in before. I feel like just your overall choices financially are bringing you into a more stable life. Also, you know, just your, you know, the way you are living right now. You know, I feel like someone's grounded. You know, someone's paying attention to their mind and how they feel, mindfulness. And so, you know, you're stable, you're rich, you know, because rich doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? For me, rich means like my health is good. For me, rich means like my children are good. You know, for me, Rich means like, you know, my soul tribe is okay. You know, that's what makes me rich, right? So something about that here, okay? I feel like stability is here. You could have been a person that literally was homeless the last year, and stability is here for you. There could be someone literally, I don't know if you just got approved for like some kind of housing program. It could be like the Habitat for Humanity. You could be having a new home built or something like that. I see a new home here for someone after like being homeless, okay? Because God says that you can have this. There, I don't know. I feel like people prayed on you and your downfall for you to be homeless and without, because they felt like they would have control over you, but they didn't understand that, you know, that was a part of the mission too. Like that was a part of the mission to show that even when you were homeless, you still had faith. Even when you were homeless, you still had integrity. Okay, something about that. Let's see. Yeah, we got listen coming out for you. And I feel like you've been doing this. I feel like you've been listening already to like, you know, that little small voice in your inside of you when God is speaking to you. I feel like you've been listening a lot more. And you know, there's someone also, and I feel like someone's letting go of their bad habits. You could be a person, you know, that was addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it is. I feel like there's a person putting their bad habits on the back burner now. I'm not saying that you're perfect, but I'm saying that, you know, you're working on being a better you. And kudos to you, okay? Something about that, because it takes a lot of strength to be a person willing to let go of bad habits and move forward for divinity, understanding that your life is greater than just you. You know, your mission, your purpose is greater than just you. It's hard to walk away from something. Some people have to go to like rehabs. Some people go, you know, some people literally fall flat down. Some people literally become unalived. And whoever you are a person that literally walked away from bad habits. So kudos to you. Okay, I love this for you. I feel like you listened to that little small voice inside of yourself and you literally were able to walk away from things that no longer serve you. There's someone, you're strong. You're a very strong person here. You could be a man or woman that I'm talking to. You got a lot of strength. Apollo showing up here, that's a very powerful energy. Okay, someone has like very good willpower. Yeah, the bear's here. Brown could be your favorite color. You can have very nice brown skin. Your melon could be popping, something like that. Your nickname could be Caramel. Okay? But we got the bear showing up for you. There's something about a deep connection and family protection. You are protection, okay? To your family. You could be like that person in your family that everybody looks at all weird, but they don't understand that you are the protection, right? Something about your connection with divinity, your prayers, your the rituals that you practice, you know, the sacred conversations you have with divinity, the things that you do behind closed doors that nobody knows, those prayers that you get down and do, you know, when you get down there and you crying, you in your prayer room and you going hard, you reading your verses and you got your, you know, you going through spiritual warfare, you reading them scriptures and you're rebuking all of these different things off of your bloodline. You are your family's protection. There's something about that. Okay, something about you saving your legacy, your family's legacy, something about you being divinely protected, something about you protecting the family, something about your deep connection to divinity. Okay, I don't know, you could be tied into like one of the 12 tribes for real, honestly. Okay, like literally you could be one of the tribes that have a covenant with the Most High. Okay, okay, something about that, a royal bloodline, family protection, deep connection. There could be someone connected to the Rockefellers, the something like that. I just heard. Okay, let's see. Okay, you look. We got the black bear coming out. The bear is very significant here for you guys. Okay. It says gentle and wise protector. I told you you were the protector here. I don't know, like I feel like you're very gentle. You could be even like a giant teddy bear. If you're a man, that's what I'm hearing. You could be like a giant teddy bear, a very big man, but like, you know, very loving, very kind, very sweet with a nice smile. I'm seeing someone like with a very big smile. You could be a man or a woman and you could have like one of those big smiles that light up a room. I can see you smiling. It says gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. You could be literally helping people on their spiritual journey in your family. You could be building your own soul tribe. You could be a tarot energy reader. You could be some kind of light worker, some kind of spiritual guru, some kind of leader, minister, whatever it is. There's someone and you are protection. Okay? So I know some days it gets frustrating because you are the protector. I know some days, you are that strong one and, maybe people don't check on you as much as they should. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that, but just know I'm here if you need anybody, right? But I get it, right? It's like that kind of energy. You're the guardian, you are literally the guardian. And it's like, I don't know if you're a herbalist. There could be someone, I don't know if you work with elderberry or blueberries or some kind of berries or something here. You can make medicine, or it could be in your family and you need to get on it. Like, okay, like someone is a natural herbalist. I'm seeing apothecary here as well. Okay, some of you guys are natural born healers. Why? Because God said so, not me, right? And I feel like maybe you haven't found your lane just yet. Maybe you're a little confused. Maybe you're a little disassociated with where you should be, but Spirit is going to lead you there, okay? You'll get there. Some of you guys are still young. You have so much life, okay? You got so much life ahead of you. I remember back when I was in my 20s, I had so much life, And the beautiful thing about you guys is that, for some of you younger people, because I feel like I'm talking to someone younger right now, okay? You guys have a lot more knowledge than we had when I was 20, right? So you guys have an advantage, and I can't wait to see the beautiful things that you guys do for humanity, right? So I don't know, you could be young, but you're a guardian. You could even be a younger person that you have more knowledge than some of your elders, just because, you're willing to learn, you're willing to listen. And, some people don't want to really study and do the work. Some people want to just, they just want to act like they know. But I feel like you have literally been doing some work here. And, you could be an elder even to the elders. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, when God has a mission for you, that's just what it is. So kudos to you. Okay. Let's see. It says follow your heart here. Okay. So, I've been talking about this a lot. I feel like it's very important. I remember doing tests in school, and it used to be, I don't know if I think they still might do them a little bit, but they do everything on computer now. So we used to have number 2 pencils, and there used to be these tests, and it would be like A, B, C, or D, and you would have to like draw in the bubble, right, with a number 2 pencil. And every time we went to go do these tests, the teacher would always say, stick with your first answer, Latasha, right? That's my real name, right? Stick with your first answer. And I'll be like, okay. And then every time you get to the test, it's like, evil comes in and wants you to second guess, your answer. So you're like, as soon as you read the question, you're like, B. Okay, the answer is B. And then here comes the negativity. Like, you sure it's not C? Right? But Spirit is saying you could be feeling this energy, right? But make sure you stick with your first answer, your intuition. God is giving you downloads. You know what it is. Like, that answer that comes to you right away. That's it. Okay? Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Evil wants you to doubt yourself right now. But you already know the answers to, you know the answers. It's in your blood, your DNA, your makeup. A lot of you guys, your Akashic records are really kicking in right now. So someone's like, well, Lala, what is Akashic records? Well, the Akashic records is the knowledge that you have within you. Like, it's just a knowledge. How we're predestined, right? We came here with a mission. We agreed to do something for God, and we came here on our mission, predestined. Well, that same energy, there is a knowledge that we already have before we came here, right? So there's some things when they come to you, it's just like a knowing. And you're like, how do I know this? Because I'm seeing someone and you're a herbalist and you don't know it, okay? And once you get to playing around with the herbs and you're doing your little studies, it's going to come to you naturally. Why? Because it's in your blood, your makeup, your DNA. This is who you are. It's in your Akashic records, right? And so, you could be needing to tap into this, right? You know, we're going back in time. Like, you know, I know that things are moving to the future, but, you know, we're going back as far as like, you know, the medicine man, the medicine woman, right? You know, we're going back to these ancient kind of things where we're remembering that God gave us all trees that bear fruit, right? So we're doing things to help ourselves, right? By using natural things. And I don't know, someone's called here to be some kind of herbalist. I don't know. I said it 3 times. Take it how it resonates. Let's see. Okay. All right, we got impersonator. I don't know. Wants to be like you, act like you, dress like you, copy you, and look like you. There could be someone trying to impersonate you. You know, people always try to impersonate Michael Jackson, right? So that would be the perfect person to have on the card. But, you know, I had to learn something, and I'm going to tell you, you know, my fiance taught me something that was so valuable. You know, I was always a person that I was never really popular, but I wasn't really a cornball either, right? I was that person that sit in the middle. Like nobody never knew where to place me. Right? So, you know, I feel like impersonation, you know, you could be that person too, where it's like, you know, you were just that person that was hanging out in the outfield, right? And now people could really be seeing you, right? Your light could really be shining. You know, they've seen you before, but now it's like they can't help it, right? And so people could be impersonating you, right? And you could be like, little old me, you know, I thought I was a cornball. I thought nobody liked me. I thought I was the ugly duckling, but now it's cool to be that person. So, you know, you'll notice that, you know, you have a lot more people wanting to do the regular things, like, you know, people going back to having hair under their underarms and on their, you know, private parts and being natural and just doing all kinds of things, right? And, you know, there's someone that wants to act like you, but I feel like you should take it as a compliment. And that's just that, you know. I remember one time it would frustrate me so bad when, you know, I became tapped in and I started doing little things to stamp myself, you know, my little signature. And I would see people on our Facebook, because they don't really show a lot of love over there. You know, most of Facebook be your friends and family and people that you know. So, you know, I learned that when I got into the business that, you know, those are not the people I am expected to support us, right? So I would notice that, you know, people would watch us and we were doing pretty well when we were consistent over there, but I noticed the interactions would not be as interactive, but I would notice that when I go down the timeline, I see people that look like me. I see people that are dressing like me. I see people that are doing the little accessories that I'm doing and different things like that. I feel like this is you. Okay? Someone could be trying to impersonate you, but Spirit is saying take it as a compliment. Boo. Okay? Because you're doing you. You know, you're showing up, you're shining, you're looking good, you're smelling good. You know, a lot of you guys are getting your bodies together. You just look good. Like in your spirit, you're happy. You know, a lot of you guys walked away from toxic relationships. So you're lit up, right? You're looking good. And, you know, Spirit is saying, you know, don't be upset when people are trying to impersonate you, because guess what? They can't do it like you anyway, right? And every time someone tries to copy you, God is always going to give you more. So, you know, instead of being like, why is she copying me? Why he copying me? You know, take it as a compliment. You know, you're doing something right. You're doing something good. And if you're working for divinity, that's a part of the plan anyway, right? We just want everyone towards divinity anyway. So whatever it takes to get people towards the light, it doesn't matter, right? I had to learn that. So you could be in this energy as well. Okay. Now we do got freedom showing up for you. So Spirit is just wanting you to know you're free. I don't care what makes you feel bound, what makes you feel stuck. Your ass is free. Okay, there's nothing that can stop you. Like the only thing that can stop you right now is yourself. Like if you feel like you can't move, it's because you don't want to move. It's because you're giving up. It's because you're not pushing hard enough, because the energy here for you is go time. It's like, let's get to it, you know? Something about that. Okay. Now, we do have grudge holder coming out, so of course someone's going to be mad because you're moving on. You're out here fine as hell in the streets. You're looking good. You're not worried about people that are not worried about you. You're not spreading rumors. You're not gossiping. You're not checking up on people. You know, you're just in your own little lane. I'm seeing someone literally trying to get close to God, and people just keep pressing you. It's like, people just keep pressing you, and you're not even worried. They don't even understand. You're so far away from that. You're literally trying to move on to the next chapter of your life, and they could be trying to press you, right? And when I say press you, like trying to get you to be upset, trying to get you to argue, trying to get you to, be out of character, trying to do things to provoke you from praying and, trying to be in your highest purpose and things like that. Something about that is here. Let's see. Now we got the cougar. Now, I don't know if you a cougar, he a cougar, somebody a cougar, somebody like, I'm hearing Stella got a groove back, okay? Right? You could be out here looking good, like, okay? You could be auntie like me, and I'm talking about you could be out here fine as wine, sis, bro. You could be uncle, okay? Looking very young, right? Taking care of yourself. And I love this for you, but it says assertive, okay? In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. Yeah, when you become the age of a cougar like myself, you just don't give a damn. You get to that point where you just don't care. It's like, this is who I am, and either you like it or you don't. And, hey, kumbaya, or we can't, right? Like that kind of energy. I feel like, you have found your power and you're standing in it. You're taking action and you're being a leader. And it's like, I'm talking to someone where it's like, you're not easily swayed at all. Okay? And you could be out here just having fun, living life and enjoying yourself. And I love this for you with the cougar energy. I feel like, yeah, there's someone just out here living life. You're very vibrant. You could be looking, you could be like, I'm hearing someone's aging backwards or something like that. Hey, hey, hey. People could be asking you, like, what's your skin routine? Okay, so I just heard, what's your skin routine? Put auntie on. My skin is changing now and I'm getting older, y'all. I had very good skin growing up, and I feel like it's changing now. I don't know. But anyway, something about that. Y'all know I'll be rambling a little bit. But we got the pig coming out for you. Okay? Abundance. The pig is like prosperity and good fortune. Okay? And, why wouldn't you expect that, right? When you change for the better, why wouldn't you expect better, right? Because there's someone and, I feel like there's someone and you could have came from a pretty decent life and then things changed somewhere. I don't know if your family kind of cut you off because of the thing, you started having your own beliefs. You started seeing through some of the illusions, whatever it is, and you had to figure things out on your own. But, a prosperity and abundance is here for you, good fortune and wealth. Okay, I feel like your wealth is your health. I feel like you're no longer stressed out, which allows you to live longer, right? You don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to feel anxiety all the time. There's someone that you don't have to feel the energy of depression every day now. You have overcome that energy because you're just doing you. Okay? Something about that. Look, and I know that to be true because we have the iguana here for you. Okay? And it says camouflage, confidence, blessings, wisdom, fertility, and appreciation. There's a whole lot of blessings coming up in here for you, right? Because of your appreciation to life, there's someone, and I can see you every morning, literally, like you are so grateful, to wake up. Like you truly understand that it is a gift. Every time you open those two eyes in the morning, someone knows like this, because some of us, and I'm only saying this because I've been there before, and I'm a person that loves God, right? But at some point you get through life and you just wake up and you feel like you're supposed to. But, now I understand that, like, no, it's a blessing. It ain't supposed to nothing, right? You ain't supposed to anything. So, I feel like this could be you too, learning like, you're not supposed to anything. God is allowing you to get up every day to complete your mission, your journey, and your purpose. So kudos to you for showing appreciation. Okay, I feel like there's also someone I'm talking to, and God has just been giving you wisdom over time. With age comes wisdom. Okay, I don't know why I feel like I'm talking to someone like an auntie or an uncle. Okay, right? And then I had the energy of a young person over there. I don't know. I feel like we got just a crowd of just divine people in the audience tonight. And, you know, you guys are just, this is good energy. I love you guys. I do. Now, scarcity tactics are coming out. Someone's trying to scare you, but they don't understand that you play chess and not checkers. Okay? There's a person that plays checkers and they don't understand that you play chess. Like, you been. I heard you been. Okay? All right? You always been the big one, never the small one. First, never second. Something about that. Like, I don't know who they thought you were. Like, you always been first, never second. Okay? Something about that. But someone's trying to scare you. Someone could be trying to blackmail you. I don't know if someone has a SEX tape that they're trying to blackmail someone with or something like that. Disgusting. People are so low vibrational, you know, they will, because you're moving. I see. Okay, so someone wants to release, there could be someone literally trying to release a SEX tape on someone or something provocative on someone because they decided to move on. Someone packed up and left someone, so someone's like, yeah, I got to you know, get this out or something like that. There could be someone, you could have rented a U-Haul today or tomorrow, you could be moving or something like that. Okay, Penske truck I just seen as well. Open your heart to love, okay? So Spirit is saying no matter what, even though you've been through a lot of rough situations and there have been a lot of people that have, you know, not loved you properly, you already know we got to be open to love, right? We have to be open to love even when we have been loved improperly, because love is the highest vibration of them all. And look, we got the frog coming out for you with prosperity. I told you it's a whole lot of blessings in here. Okay, there's a whole lot of blessings in here, because when God told you to walk away from something, you didn't fight. You were like, you know what, I know it's time. I know it's time to go. You know, I feel like it was one of those kind of situations where it wasn't even really a fight, because this time, I'm hearing this time, so you could have, you know, been in the same position, same situation more than once. And this, something about this time, you knew it was time to go, right? Change, to do something different. But we got the frog here, prosperity coming out for you, and it says let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. Okay? I told you it's a whole lot of blessings in here. Okay? It's a whole lot of blessings in here. You've been doing hard work for a very long time. You could have been working since a very young age. You could have been working since the age 15 or something like that. Okay? And maybe, you know, you've been penny pinching or something like that. But prosperity and abundance is here. Okay? Good fortune. Because you are so tenacious, your tenacity, you know, your ability to not give up, to keep going, to keep fighting, you know, to be willing to just show up. Something about that, being tenacious here. Okay? Look, you are seeing the situation accurately, so there's something that you could be like doubting yourself about, and Spirit is saying, look, I already gave you clarity, I already gave you the answer, and you're seeing the situation accurately. You know how sometimes I was talking about the test, right? And you want to second guess yourself. You know how you put that answer down on the test, and it's like, you know the answer is correct, but here comes evil and it wants to confuse you, so it makes you feel like you have the wrong answer, but you don't. I don't know what you're talking about, Dino. I'm sorry. I'm so confused. I don't know nothing about Diddy and Burna Boy. I have no idea about that. I have no idea about that. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, um, yeah, you know, who knows? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. And then I was trying to look like, did I miss a comment or something? You must be just talking. We got the hawk here showing up for you with a message. Okay, this could be for you, right? It says Spirit is sending you a message. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. Okay? So there's someone, and you literally could be going through another ascension. God could be like, taking you up. There's a hierarchy to divinity, right? And you could be moving up in the hierarchy, right? Earth angel is what I just heard. You could be literally an earth angel, a person sent here to help heal humanity. Something about that. Be kind to yourself is what I'm hearing. There's something about a message here. You could be a person that studies birds, or nithomancy is coming out for me. You can have divine revelations when the birds come in and drop little messages. You can have a tattoo of a bird or something like that. A red robin could be significant. We got the temperance coming out in the reverse here. So I don't know. There's something about being patient. Okay. Someone's like, well, where the hell is the abundance and prosperity that you keep talking about? Right. All right. And Spirit is saying that it's already here. You could be in the energy of, still trying to work on balancing things out. I feel like you could be working with less, but you could have more, if that makes sense. Maybe you don't have as much finances as you have, but I feel like maybe God gave you more free time or something like that. And I don't know. There's a lack of perspective here. There could be someone impatient. You could be wanting God to send in money, but he's already given you wealth and riches, something like that. So make sure you don't overlook that, okay? I know sometimes it can be hard when we need that money. I was telling my fiance earlier, I was like, I remember when I used to need money, it used to run away from me so quick. Like, you ever need some money? When you need money, it does not want to come to you. It's like, it runs away. It's not attracted to you. Nobody has it to give to you, So, yeah, something about that. Okay, let's see. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse here. So there's something I told you that it's beyond your control. Okay, there's a situation that you just can't control, It could be a person. And remember I was saying earlier, if a person doesn't want to change, there's nothing we can really do about it, but accept that a person does not want to change. Everybody does not want to heal. And I'm sorry, that's just reality, There's a duality to life, and we all have what we call free will. Some people choose to use their free will to just do wrong, to not care, to not want to heal, and that is their business. Who am I to judge a person that takes the free will that God gave them to do whatever it is that they want to do? However, me being the divine high priestess that I am, I know that people like that I can't associate with, because we're not on the same frequency. And guess what? A house divided, it can't stand, right? So this could be you, and sometimes that's a harsh reality. Like, when there's someone we love so bad, and it's like, you can see the potential. You ever met a person? It ain't nothing worse than a person that has so much potential, so many gifts, and you watch them just wasting. Ugh. You just watch them wasting, like pouring out, right? They're pouring out, right? And so you being the divine one, you're like, well, look, if I can get them to work this, then life would be great. But if a person doesn't want to work the gifts, then they're not going to work, right? And there's someone, and maybe you could have been forcing things at one point, like me, right? And you really had to learn, like, look, it is what it is. I can only change myself, right? And when you learn that you can only change yourself, then you start dealing with people that you can deal with their demons and their angels, right? Because if you can't deal with a person's demons and their angels, it ain't the right relationship anyway, okay? Because you got to be able to deal with somebody when they're not in their highest vibration, right? You got to be able to deal with somebody when they're not all smiles and giggle, right? And still be able to love them. So, you want to choose someone that your angels and your demons go together. And then we have ignoring. I don't know if you're ignoring a red flag, a situation, a sign, or whatever it is, but Spirit is saying there's something you could be ignoring here. So I just ask that you pay attention to something, okay? You could be ignoring a red flag, a sign, your calling, whatever it is. We have the sloth showing up. There's a lack of enthusiasm. There could be also an indifference between someone's religion here. Remember, I just said that a house divided can't stand. So I don't know if someone's going through a situation where, maybe you have become spiritual and your spouse is just like, you know, they're at a point where they just want to be how they were when you met them. And maybe it could be frustrating, right? But, you know, the sloth is all about dedication to one's spiritual practice. So if this is you and you are in a relationship and, you know, maybe you're becoming more spiritual and you're dealing with a person that is still the same and maybe they're not as spiritual, you know, maybe when you guys met, neither one of you were spiritual. You know, maybe neither one of you had any guidance, but now you're finding a way. Well, Spirit is saying stay dedicated to your spiritual practice. And if this is the right person for you, then it'll come together. Okay? Right? You don't have to, like, you know, kick a person out. You don't have to fight with a person, but you can encourage, right? You can teach, right? And whatever's meant to be will be, right? And if it's not, it won't be, right? We have to get out of the habit of forcing things, you know? I was a forcer too. I used to force things because I was like, I'm a fixer, you know, I'm a healer. I can fix things. So, you know, sometimes I feel like I didn't feel like I forced things, but now that I'm grown and I'm mature, I can tell you as a grown-ass woman that there was a lot of things in life that I forced, you know? And you don't want that. So, you know, don't force anything, okay? Right? The sloth is here. Let's see what's on the back of this. Okay, we got the dragonfly. So transformation, the ability to adapt to new situations, personal growth, and maturity. Yeah, you're growing up. You could even have literally just grown apart from someone, you know, or you could be growing apart from something or a situation. You know, when you get to a certain level of your spirituality, certain things just don't stimulate you anymore, you know? A lot of people on their spiritual journey, sex is probably one of the least things they're worried about, you know, on their journey. A lot of people are literally trying to get themselves together, their mind, you know, their mental, you know, different things like that. Not to say that, you know, a little bit of action is not good, but what I'm saying is, you know, you could be so focused on self in your journey right now, that could be the least of your worries, okay? You could even be like celibate, okay? Something like that. You could be like, you know, staying away from sex, something like that, okay? Now let's see. We got the monkey coming out for you, monkeys. I like this, okay? Monkeys are very playful. So Spirit is saying, find your playful, childlike energy. Have some fun, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with some healthy risk. Ain't nothing wrong, you know, if you're single, it's nothing wrong with flirting. You don't have to be on here, you know, showing your butt. You don't have to be on here sending naked pictures, but you can have fun, you know? What are you supposed to do when you're single? You're supposed to date. You know, people forget what dating is, you know. They think that dating is just sex. No, dating is, you know, going out with different people and figuring out who's right for you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm hearing someone, you need to go dating, okay? Go dating, right? You know, you never got to actually date anyone, you know? So, I don't know. That could be in someone's future here. But we got worldly temptation with the monkeys. So be careful of worldly temptation. Now, remember what I said is healthy risk, right? There's nothing wrong with a little flirtation and healthy risk. I'm not telling you to go on here and do anything crazy. What I'm telling you to do is be available for the love that you deserve. Because, you know, if you're a person that desires a relationship, it's here. You know, if you're a person that desires to be by yourself, it's here. But have fun. Be playful, you know. Be unpredictable, right? Because there's someone so used to being able to predict your every move. You know, you have to learn how to be a little bit unpredictable. So, you know, people don't know exactly the next move that you're going to make because someone feels like they know every move you're going to make. And so they try to be one step ahead of you. Okay? But I like this energy. Now, of course, you know, the monkey is also like a trickster energy. It could be also a betrayal because, you know, a monkey will come and steal your banana quick. I don't care if you're my cousin, none of that, right? The monkey will come and steal that banana. If it's one banana and two monkeys, trust me, they're both going to try to get the banana, right? So, I don't know, you know, I feel like, you know, betrayal. I feel like there is a lot of betrayal in your past. And so maybe it has made you a little hardened. You know how your heart can become hardened when you have been betrayed so many times? Spirit is just saying, lighten up, have fun. Like some of you guys are living like grandmas and you are not even 30, okay? Have fun, lighten up, live your life, bro. Live your life, sis, okay? You called in a lot of high vibrational relationships and they're here. So have fun, okay? Nothing wrong with having healthy fun here, okay? Right? I don't know if there's someone like you could just need to go to the playground. I don't know if you used to climb the monkey bars when you were a child, right? You might need to just take a trip to the playground and like get on the monkey bars, and you might be surprised how that may make you feel, like, taking you back to your childhood. Maybe that's something you did in school and you were very good at it, right? Maybe you need to go out and challenge yourself and see if this is something you can still do. Whatever it is, find your childlike energy, okay? Now, let's see. We have the Ace of Cups here, and it is in the reverse. So Spirit is saying there's something that you're just holding back on, okay? I don't know. I feel like it's the best version of yourself. I feel like it's the best love you have to offer. There's something that you're just holding back on. Okay, what's up, Unique? Hey, right? I feel like there's something that you're holding back on. And Spirit is saying that, don't hold back. Okay, especially if it's your self-love. Do not hold back on loving yourself. Do not hold back on taking care of yourself, because you could be needing a self-care day. I'm seeing someone, and you could be like, well, my bills are up to my head. Well, you need to make a way to have some self-care, because my mama said that if you work, if you're working 2 weeks straight, you need to be able to get yourself something out of there. Okay, a little something. I don't care if you go to Dollar Tree and you get you some nail polish. If you're a woman, they got stuff that's $125. I don't care if you're a man and you gotta go get you something from Dollar Tree, a little facial scrub or whatever you gotta do to make yourself feel good. Self-care is mandatory, is what I'm hearing for you. Okay? So self-care is going to be very important for you this week. Okay? And it's time to tap into your intuition. Stop doubting yourself. There is someone, and like, you are super intuitive, psychic abilities. Your connection is so strong. I feel like sometimes you deny it. You don't want to accept it, whatever it is. Like, someone needs to know that you're tapped in, and these things are coming from God. It's not evil. It's not, it's not evil things that you're thinking about. It's not evil things that you're tapping into. This is divinity. This is like, the things that you're praying about. These are not things you're going to a spell book and trying to do things to manipulate the elements. And no, you're praying. You're talking to God. I'm seeing someone praising God in the car. Someone praising God in the shower. Like, this is a person that communicates with divinity all day. So, of course, you should trust your intuition, because God is revealing things to you, so you don't make the same mistakes, so that you don't have the same heartbreak, right? So something about that. Okay, let's see. And we have the Heron, patience. It says, create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently toward your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. So just be patient, boo. Everything you need, everything you desire, when you prayed about it, God was like, okay, all right. You said you need this, right? And you're going to do X, Y, and Z to get it, right? So as soon as you prayed about it, God was like, okay, all right, bam, you got that, right? As soon as you take the necessary steps, then guess what? The blessing is released, right? So keep working hard, towards those things that you've been praying for, because God hears all of our prayers, right? What happens is we have to wait until the perfect divine timing for things to be released. But as soon as we ask for things, it's there, right? A lot of times we have to put in the work to meet the blessing, right? Blessing and work, they go together, right? So, yeah, something about that, right? So just keep working. Okay? Yes. Trust. That's right. Yeah. Collective reading. That's right. Yep. Just keep trusting. That's right, Unique. Right? Keep trusting God, right? Keep trusting your intuition. Keep trusting yourself. Right? keep trusting that there's something greater. You know, there's someone, and that's all you need to know. Like, you need to remind yourself constantly, there's something greater. Like, I don't care what nobody is trying to tell me. Like, I don't care how bad my day is. I know there's something greater. I have a purpose. You know, some of you guys, you weren't even supposed to make it from birth. A lot of you guys were premature babies, and like, you know, I'm seeing someone, your parent could have been on some kind of substance, right? There's someone, you could have just been born early, right? And you could have been on an incubator, very small, child under 5 pounds, and you know, you weren't supposed to make it, right? But you're here now because God had a purpose for you. The enemy wanted you gone a long time ago. The enemy knew that when you came, that you were here for a purpose. So the enemy was like, well, let me try to go ahead and, you know, get the mother messed up now so that the baby can't have a chance, right? But God said, no, his grace, his mercy, no, I need this child right here to do this mission. So, you know, God was fighting for you since you've been a premature baby, a lot of you guys, right? I'm picking up like 4 people. You were premature. And it's like, you know, you've been fighting ever since, right? And you could be very healthy right now, too. You could have been like a preemie baby, but you could be a little thick. I like them thick. I like a cornbread. Something like that. Or you could be like a very buff man. A man that's like very muscular. Something like that, okay? I like that for you. So let me see. I'm going to get like 2 more cards before I get on here because these mosquitoes is tearing me up. And I cannot wait to go wash my face because it is greasy or whatever it is. I'm shiny, y'all. Look. Oh, I know what I did. Look, so I went to go take a bike ride. Why? I put some Indian. Oh, my gosh. So I was at work earlier, right? And the house is feeling good. It's cool. I took and I was like, I got some Blue Magic grease and I had the Indian hemp and I was like trying to grow my edges back out. So I was like, I'm not putting no more edge control on my hair. I'm just going to put Indian grease, right? I was all slicking that thing back, child. We went out the side for a bike ride. That was dripping all over my head, child. And it's like, it won't stop. Okay? Crazy. But anyway, let's see. All right, so I just pulled that one. All right, let me get a new card. Okay, meditate, right? You could be needing to sit still. There could be someone you could need to like create a prayer space, a prayer closet, a meditation space, whatever it is. Sometimes having a dedicated spot where you pray, you know, and having a routine like setting a certain time is really good for us. It keeps us disciplined. You know, I remember I always talk about when I used to go to the African braiding salon. You know, they would be in the middle of doing an 8-hour braids, and it didn't matter who I was. They would stop in the middle of doing your hair, pull out their little carpet, take their shoes off, clean themselves down, and pray. Why? That's discipline, right? They don't allow anything to interrupt their relationship with the Most High. That needs to be us. So find yourself like a little space where you can clean it out. You know, that's your little dedicated space where you pray, you meditate, you cry, you create, you know, you ask God questions, whatever it is. I feel like this is necessary for someone. Okay. And then let's see what the last card is. The King of Cups. You are becoming an emotional master. Okay. You're learning how to master your emotions. You could have been a very imbalanced emotional being at one point. Okay, but I feel like now you're emotionally balanced. There's something about you being very psychic. Remember I was saying that? You know, a person that is highly intuitive. I told you that earlier, right? Very kind-hearted, tender person. And I feel like, you know, there's something about you being able to really be like, you know, empathetic, compassionate, you know, nurturing, loving. I just feel, you know, comfortable around you with your energy. Your energy is very comfortable. And this is how people could, you know, feel about you. I feel like people feel like your energy is very comfortable. Okay? That's why you have to be careful who you allow in your energy, because you have that kind of energy where it's so comfortable. People will sit there and sit in your energy and you won't even know that people are sitting in your energy because they're just so comfortable sitting in your energy because your energy is big and it holds a lot of weight. So it's like, you know, people just run around in your energy. You know, I know somebody's like, what are you talking about? But you know, for who I'm talking to, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, I told you earlier, remember I was saying someone was trying to do something with like a SEX scandal? Someone like had some photos, some videos. Someone's trying to do something, but it's like I don't know. Whoever you are, it's like the body is bodying. So at least the body is bodying, right? But I don't know. Definitely if this is you, honestly, make sure you file some kind of report because it is against the law for people to put out videos of you that you did not consent to. And so if someone is doing that, that is definitely something that you should take some kind of action on if you need to, right? Because someone could definitely be trying to like extort someone or something like that. I don't know. This is like a clown down kind of energy. Someone could be doing something for money, extorting someone or something like that. I don't know. I feel like someone's here. There's someone in the energy. This is an op. They're broke and they're an opportunist. Someone's just like looking for opportunities anywhere they can get them. Someone literally goes around looking for opportunities, like places to stay, money, gifts, finances, love. Like someone literally is an opportunist. They don't want to do anything. Okay, they're sitting around in the background trying to hide right now, but I can feel their energy. They're lingering in the background. So if you know, okay, there's someone and you're like, this is confirmation for someone, okay? Someone is just, I don't know. Last card, I know I said I was going to stop. We have, let's see here, the Seven of Pentacles. Good things take time, perseverance, okay? I feel like there's someone, you're at a crossroad, you're at that point in life where it's like, which way am I going, right? And I feel like you're making a good choice. I feel like you're going the correct way. You're thinking about your long-term goals, your investments. You're learning to be patient because patience is a virtue. You've been planting seeds and the harvest is here. Like that kind of energy. I feel like, there's a person and your long term is looking great because you are intentionally investing in your long-term future. So kudos to you. Okay. That was your message. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the message. I hope you took something from it. Okay, all of our information is on our page if you would like to book a personal reading. We are available. If you would like to support our channel, all of our information is there as well. Thank you guys for all of your love, all of your energy, okay? I hope you guys will join us tomorrow morning for your morning matinee. And I'm one half to Elemental Beings. High Priestess Lala. I'm on it here.